everyone, Cake Nights here, and welcome back to another video. I wanted to start by saying that this won't be the usual lighthearted video that I normally make. I want to address an issue that involves Roblox, which is its moderation with games, players, etc. I know many have already talked about the issue in the past. Countless videos, articles, news stations address this issue, with them saying how there's games with inappropriate themes, grown men pretending to be children to lure in kids, etc. The reason why I'm bringing up this topic is because I want to share a couple experiences that happened to me and some friends in the past. Before we begin, I condone no hate nor witch hunts on the creators of the games that will be mentioned in this video. With that out of the way, let me tell you about the first experience. The first experience happened in Conveyor's Sushi Restaurant. For those who don't know what the game is, it's just an experience in which you eat food, talk to your friends, basically just a hangout. A friend of mine and I are obsessed with this game, so we always go on it whenever we see that there is an update to the game. I even used this game as a background for one of my videos in the past. While we were talking and messing around in the game, at some point, my friend noticed that in the chat, someone was being a bit weird with another player. The person asked for the girl's age, and the girl responded by saying that she was around 12 years old, and that she was with her sister who was 8 years old. The person who asked the girl's age stated that he was 23 years old. The creep started to make weird comments by saying how the girls looked pretty and hot, and the comments just got worse after the girls confirmed that they were underage. My friend and I started to get uncomfortable reading this, so we decided to try to find the girls to get them out of the situation. We asked the girls if they wanted to sit with us, and they said yes. We sat down and just kept them company for a while and gave them food in the game. Meanwhile, the creep was trying to look around for them since he couldn't find them anywhere. My friend privately messaged them and asked if they were okay and what had happened. The girl who was 12 years old told my friend how she was just trying to play with her sister. Everything was fine. That was until the random guy showed up and started to ask about her age and make the weird comments I mentioned earlier, saying how they were both very scared since they didn't know what to do and the guy wouldn't leave them alone. And eventually the guy left and everything was finally back to normal. This is pretty much it for the first experience, but the situation was very disturbing. Now let me tell you about the second experience. Once again, my friends and I were bored and decided to revisit an old childhood game called Row Citizens. For those who don't know, Row Citizens is mainly a role-playing game. You can pretend to have a family and cause drama like a goddamn novela.
¿Y esta rosa?
It's been a while since we last played and we noticed there was an update to the game, so we decided to check it out. As we got into the game and tried to see where it would be a good place to set our houses, we drove by this one big building that didn't look like the default houses you can buy in the game. This meant that the person took the time and money to make this building. We didn't pay much attention to it though, since a lot of people tend to make stuff like restaurants, for example. That was until we got an invitation to the house. And unfortunately, I don't have a screenshot of this, but it says something around the lines like,
"Join my new club, become a dancer."
We were a bit confused by this and we were like, what is this? Where is this even at? That wasn't until we realized that the invitation came from the building we saw earlier. We decided to go check it out to see what it was about, and on top of the entrance of the building there was a sign that said Vanilla Unicorn Private Club. When we went inside the building, we noticed that there was a stage and a bar area. We were in shock, to say the least, and there was so much happening at that moment. Mostly since while a friend of mine and I were looking around, another friend noticed an area that said private rooms. We went over there to see what they were talking about, and there we saw a room shut off and two usernames behind a wall, with one of them doing a jumping up and down motion. I think you get the picture of what they were doing. We were in shock with this, since it's Roblox. It's a game with the audience mainly being kids, and that's when it hit us. Oh my god. This is a fucking strip club. That's when I decided to record how the inside looked to show you guys what I was talking about. Once you enter, you can see a bar area, and next to it there's a sign with a menu and how much everything costs, and a stage with poles. There are couches around said stage so you could see the quote-unquote dancers. There were signs everywhere talking about the dancers of the club and their rules. There was a sign near the entrance that said how you could ask for a private dance, but the price for said private dance was going to be determined by the dancer. There was even a payment system on how much a dancer would earn depending on their experience behind the front desk. A new dancer would earn 12k, an experienced dancer would earn 3k, a professional dancer would earn 4k, and an expert would be up to the dancer. The dancers have bedrooms and a dressing room. In the dressing room, there are more signs with them being the rules for the dancers. One of them read, "Dancers, you can keep all tips from guests. Salary can be negotiated with owner. If customers ask for a room, you can decide the payment and enter the room." Then there was another sign that said, "You're allowed in all rooms without having to ask for permission. fashion, wear better outfits for higher pay. Friend me if you'd like to be a dancer in the future. Next to that sign, there was another one that said, try to keep at least one dancer on the stage at all times. In private rooms, you do not have to do something if it makes you uncomfortable. Ask for SC meaning Snapchat, if you want to stay in touch. This is just so weird, to say the least. And we're not even done, because there's a sign that says private rooms and to ask the dancers for private dances with $signs next to it. An arrow pointing to where you can find the private rooms. Before you enter the area, there's a sign on top of the entrance that says that you are not allowed in this area unless the owner, manager, or one of the dancers invites you. But I went in, because I didn't give a fuck. There were 3 rooms in total, with different lights, and the rooms looked relatively the same, with them having a pole in the middle, a bed, a couch, and a TV. That's all really for the interior of the building. Now let me tell you who made this. There was a sign that said that the club owner is named Alex, and that the club manager is named Bella. And the club owner was actually in the building with us, and you can see him in the few shots of the video I took while walking around. In one shot, you can see him giving a lap dance to someone, topless mind you, and the rest of the shots that he's in, he's dancing on the pole. I couldn't get more footage of him since he ended up leaving the game, so that was unfortunate. But I did get his Roblox username. His username is Alex with 3 X's in his name, _77701. And I looked at his page. The majority of the people in his friend list are girls. This means that he's already friended people to join his quote-unquote vanilla unicorn private club. I also want to point out that the name sounds a bit weird once you sit down and think about it more, since the name vanilla unicorn on its own doesn't sound relatively bad. Because if you think of vanilla, you'll probably think of the flavor vanilla, like cake or ice cream. If you think of unicorns, you'll think of the mystical creature that a lot of kids love. It seems a bit of a stretch, but it's almost like the name is childish, kind of as if he was trying to catch kids' attentions. In case you see this user, please ignore him, don't even try to interact with him, or even report him if you can. Going back to the user Alex with 3 X's, _77701, as I mentioned earlier, most of the people in his friend list are girls, and something I noticed is that the majority of his game badges are from weird hangout games, specifically from bathroom hangout games, and I noticed a badge that was from a game that is sexual in nature. When you click on the badge, it takes you to the thumbnail of the game, which leads you to a rabbit hole of more games that are sexual in nature. I noticed there was a recurring theme of the code word XYZ in the title of these sexual games. Also, a small side note, I want to wrap up this video by talking about my own personal experience when it comes to Roblox and its problem with inappropriate content on the platform. One day when I was younger, while looking for a game to play, I got recommended a hangout place game. I didn't think much of it since at the time I thought to myself, oh cool, a place to hang out with my friends and take a lot of pictures together, since we like taking pictures. After playing this one game, I started to get recommended more of these types of games. At the time I was too young to realize that these type of games had more of a couple hangout type of vibe, with some of them having inappropriate poses. The environment also greatly influenced the way I behaved and dressed my avatar. Let's do a little comparison. This is how my character looked when I was still starting out Roblox and still didn't know about the existence of these types of games. My character had more of a satire type of vibe, if anything, with a tiny head and the bisexual overalls. This is how my character looked after finding out that these type of games existed and started playing it more. My character wore outfits that were a bit more inappropriate and showed a bit more of that Roblox skin. And this is how my character looks now after I stopped playing them. As you can see, there's a big difference between these photos. With this out of the way, from a personal perspective, you can see how exposure to inappropriate content can affect and influence young minds. And as you can see, the lack of moderation isn't helping either with this issue. If you're an older sibling or a parent or just have younger relatives, please check on the type of content these kids are consuming. Make sure they're not watching anything that they shouldn't, nor talking to anyone they shouldn't. Don't just give the kid an iPad and call it a day. Moderation and limitation are the keys to helping with this issue. And with that, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making this video. If you did, go ahead and give this video a like. If you'd like to see more of my content, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to tell me your own experience, your thoughts, or anything like that, then go ahead and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what you all have to say. And that's gonna be it for today. I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you guys are from, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!